What's up to everybody that just joined in? Why don't you just leave a comment so I know who's up in here? All right, JB. Yeah, we're going to get to that here just a second. All right. Just leave a comment so I know who's up in here. Johnson's Logic already knows what's up. I already talked to him about this on the phone earlier today. What's up, Larry? What's up? What's new barbecue? Home time is going to be a little bit better than what I was anticipating on it being. Let's just put it that way. All right, shoot. Listen, I'm a small channel, so 14 people in here is enough to kind of get rolling. Let's see. Well, listen, at least I'm not stuck in Albuquerque, right? Heather the reseller. Hope that real estate market is doing good right now. I got my eye on some stuff. Well, dang, I didn't know that my lives were coming that strong where they just opened up on their own. I don't know about the deductible or anything like that. I mean, no, I don't think so. I'm gonna need to get into the I'm not even gonna get into the contract. I talked to somebody, and I'm gonna talk to whoever else I need to talk to tomorrow. But here's what happened. So, the truck had been running fine, but over the course of like the last, 3 weeks, it was having problems pulling hills. You know what I'm saying? So instead of being able to pull it like 45 or something like that, we might be like 33, something like that, depending on how steep the hill was. And anyway, I was like, you know what? Let me just get this in the shop now that I'm home. So came on home time, dropped the truck off at Peterbilt. I'm thinking it's just going to be some minor problem. So I forget what day I got home. I forget what day it was, but whatever the next day was, I'd put it in the shop at Peterbilt, let them have it like about 3 days. Then I was calling, just asking about it. And then the first time I called, they said that, what's up, Twisted Big D? First time I called, you know what? I'll take a Peterbilt over a Freightliner if I need to get a rebuilt engine every 6 months. That's just keeping it real. But anyway, I know a guy at Prime that had a catastrophic engine failure in a Freightliner too. So that has nothing to do with it. But so anyway, first time I called them, they said, we're out. It still needs to go on a road test. So I'm thinking they did everything they need to do. And then, so that was it. So then the next day I called and I forget. Anyway, I called like 3 times and I was getting kind of varying answers, not really getting to the point. So today I drove up there and they were like, well, first of all, they asked me what company. So that kind of seemed odd, but I was like, it's Prime, whatever. And then he's like, all right, let me go back and check. So he walks away, comes back, and he's like, is yours in here for the catastrophic engine failure? And I was like, I didn't think it was no catastrophic engine failure. I bought it in like about 5-6 days ago. So, and he's like, well, it's the only Prime truck in here. So, yeah, it needs a new engine, and we ordered it. And you're not gonna get the truck back until the end of next week at the earliest. So that was it. It really doesn't bother me all that much. I have a co-driver to kind of think about in this situation. Not that I have any control over this situation, but that's kind of more who I'm concerned about. And he's not necessarily a student, so it's not the same kind of thing where that pay just keeps coming in regardless. He gets paid on what the truck does. So I wanted to get out there tomorrow actually is when I was thinking about getting back out there. So can't do that now. So we'll see. But what it does allow me to do maybe a couple more videos for my barbecue and cooking channel. I just filmed a rib video the other day, so thank God I'll finally be able to post something on that channel after about a good month and a half. And then I have a couple ideas on some stuff that I'm thinking about doing as well for that channel. So you know what? I hope they get it fixed fast too. You know, what is it? August 6th. I'm supposed to be picking up my other truck in September. So, you know, I might get this truck back and only be able to run a good 3-4 weeks before I get into that other one. So I don't know, Johnson's Logic. That barbecue situation is a little, you know, that's dedicating some time. I'm not sure. I'm trying to find some beef short ribs and thick beef short ribs. I'm not sure I want to dedicate 14 or not 14. Well, if I do kind of a medium speed brisket, I'm not sure if I want to be putting that much effort into a brisket right now, but we will see now that I have a little bit more time than I thought I was going to have. Yeah, breakdown pay. You know, I talked to Junior Honduras about this a little bit earlier today. He kind of filled me in on kind of some of that, so we'll see about that. Yeah, I'll get with Road Assist on that and see kind of how that goes. You know, I've kind of heard varying things going through Road Assist or going through Success Leasing. I'm not sure, but it'll be figured out tomorrow sometime as far as what I need to do to get that breakdown pay. And then, you know, I would do that and kind of split that up with my co-driver. But, you know, it does give me a little bit more time to relax. You know, my wife was her birthday's tomorrow, so she's getting a little long in the tooth. So it's good to be able to spend that good quality time without having to be worried about leaving like right after that. So that's good. So I'm fine with that. Like I said, you know, I've spoke about these leases a few different times. You know, even if there is breakdown pay, whatever the breakdown pay is, one thing that, you know, I've kind of wavered on this. I do think that maybe having a little bit of that money set aside might be a good thing coming into a lease. You just never know what's going to happen. Now, luckily, a situation like this isn't going to put me into a bad situation or anything like that. But yeah. You Dizzy, what's up? I think I was just up in your area. You Dizzy, where do you live at? I think I was just up in your area like 2.5, 3 weeks ago. I'm just glad this wasn't the truck. Yep, I was just up there. Actually, I've been up and down, you know, that area like a few times over the last, you know, month. Went down there to damn, what was the name of the place? There's a produce market down there that I delivered at. That's some mafia type shit where you have to pay money to go in there and deliver your load. So I went down there and did that. Then there was another load that was, I think I stayed at a truck stop called Milldale or something like that, or Milford, or I forget. Anyway, I stayed out there. You know, there's a few truck stops I stayed at over the last month or so going out there, but anyway, so that's about it. Got the wife in Everything is Milford, yeah. Wife is out handling some stuff, so I figured now would be a good time to get on here and kind of just tell everybody what's going on. It's not all, it's not always all good when you're in this lease situation, but like I said, it's just things you got to plan around, and still completely happy with my decision to do a lease. As a matter of fact, like I had mentioned in an earlier video, I would have done the ACE lease right out the box had I had the well, let's just say had I had the balls to do it. I was wavering a little bit, I shouldn't have done that. Man, I'm not looking that. I don't know. I might be rested. I don't feel too rested. Seems like I haven't been doing anything since I got home. I've been laying down a lot. I can tell you that. There really isn't much to do. I'm not sure if I really want to get my wife on the truck at all, but what I was thinking about doing was one of these times I came back, like rent a motorhome or something like that, and then just do like a little excursion right quick. But with all this stuff going on, it's just not the right time to do it. So there really isn't much to do. And one thing I could tell you Boston guys that are in here, you guys got too many damn tolls out there. I mean, I thought Pennsylvania, I think, may have more tolls. I'm not sure, but they aren't as expensive. Like Boston breaking you guys off, or at least breaking us off. Man, and it seems like every time I'm in Boston, if I don't have a load right away or that Boston area, I gamble and go one direction, and always my load is in the opposite direction. So I end up paying tolls the direction I went to and tolls on the way back. So yes, it is a cocktail today. I don't think I will be getting as well, not to coin the term. I don't think I would be getting as liberal with my conversation in this one, even though I 100% stand by that stuff. There's a couple different things I said that I thought, I might take it down over, but we're not going to be delving into that. This is just a little lemonade here. Well, I'm going to call it infused lemonade. Something to soothe the pain of me having to stay at home an extra week and embrace that hole a little bit more. Flynn's truck stop. I was gonna stop there. I don't remember why I didn't stop there. Because I actually had programmed that. What's up, Jeffro? I think I programmed that truck stop into my GPS, and I was gonna go there, but I think the washout was gonna. I don't think they did washouts. Oh, I know what it was. I was gonna go there specifically to get a washout, and then the Mafia Market, the Boston Produce Market or Chelsea Produce Market, they had a guy that was on site that was charging, $75 for a washout. So I figured, since I'm here, I might as well just knock it out. So that's why I didn't end up going there. But I was planning on going there. But I wanted to get it washed out soon, just in case I had a load coming up right away. Yep, they're telling me they're gonna need to put a new engine in that bad boy. So tell me the end of next week. So I'm figuring not the end of next week, maybe the end of the next week when that's gonna get done. Who knows? Man, paintball. That's the last thing I need to be doing is running around getting shot in my ass over some paintball. You know, Jeff Rowe is living the life. It is what it is. It's not like, like I said, one thing about doing this lease thing, and it's, you just got to be like, I don't know if you guys watch Bruce Lee or not. But back in the days, I used to be watching, karate every morning on, every Saturday morning. Bruce Lee would always talk about, you need to be water. If you pour water in a cup, it becomes a cup. If you pour water into like this, it turns into this. So whatever you pour water into, that's what it becomes. That's how you got to be on this lease. You know what I mean? You can't get overly excited. Can't get really upset about things. You just got to do what you got to do. And like I said, outside of me having a co-driver on the truck, if I didn't have this co-driver on the truck, I'd probably be jumping for joy to have an excuse to be off an extra week. Let's see. What's up, White Line Transportation? The Flying J in Fontana. Why would you even go there? That is the worst. You know what? If I was in Fontana, Larry, what I would do, and I was just up there, is I would park my trailer at the Fontana yard and then just bobtail and park wherever. You know what I mean? I'm not going to park at that Flying J. If anything, I will pay to buy $25 worth of stuff at that TA in Ontario before I do that. That Flying J is just a mess. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the engine. I mean, for the most part, it should be under warranty the whole time. Petro or the TA. I've never been to the TA. Actually, but yeah, the Petro specifically. Got my Popeyes fried chicken up in there. Definitely go there for that. I could order $25 on that alone. Yeah, Mulberry. I don't like sleeping out there. I don't like parking out there on Mulberry just because people's houses are out there, and that was just a bad real estate investment. Buying a house right next to a place where all these trucks and stuff are coming in. I just try to leave those guys alone. I'll just get out of there. Yeah, Fontana's a trailer drop yard, but here's what I do, Ross, is what I'll do, because I don't think they want you to drop an empty trailer there just to come back for it. So I might turn my trailer on and put a seal on that bad boy, drive that shit in there, drop it, unhook, leave, come back, and then be on my way. The truck had a catastrophic engine failure, they're calling it. It didn't seem too catastrophic to me. For a while it's had problems climbing hills, so I would say that my speed going up any hill might be reduced by about 35-40%. And so I, got in here to Denver, it's like, all right, well, let me just go ahead and get it in the shop. That's when they're telling me that I don't even know what they told me. They told me something mechanically. I didn't really care about that. All I heard was new engine is under warranty. I'm good. So, and then they said the end of next week at the earliest. So I'm figuring, 2 weeks past that or a week past that probably. But I don't know if any of you guys have been at that truck stop. I'm not even going to mention it. I think it's out there by Magic Mountain or some shit like that. They got a TA and a Petro that are right out there. Those are the two best TAs and Petros I've ever been to. If you guys have been there, I think it's owned by some guy that owns like a vineyard or something out there. That place is banging. Yep. All right, Jeffro, hook it up. Get out here. Get running these roads and stuff like that. Well, I talked to Ross. I talked to Junior Honduras, and he was mentioning there might be a couple different ways it gets handled. So it might get handled by Success Leasing. It might get handled by the warranty. So I just need to kind of get that figured out. It's not like I'm doing anything else tomorrow, but having a chance to figure it out. So I'll be doing that tomorrow or Monday. It's not like a rush on it on my part. But they just did a video. Prime just did a video yesterday. If anybody who's watching this, they've just mentioned a couple other states that they're hiring out of. I don't know if Florida was on there, but I think with Florida, you had to be a team to come out of Florida. Well, Tom, I'm not sure they would just give you another truck in this situation that I'm in right now because I'm not like at a terminal. So for me to get another truck, I'd either have to get there or do whatever. And, I just think even in this case, whether I was company or lease, it'd probably be best just to sit and wait till the truck gets done. Yeah, I don't want no part of Florida anyway. Listen, here's the thing. I don't know why they don't hire out of Florida. It seems like they send enough people down to Florida that don't live in Florida, that don't want to go to Florida. To me, I don't understand it. That's beyond my pay grade, but I don't want to go to Florida because I don't want to turn down a load that they're trying to give me out of Florida, especially as a team. They're trying to hit teams up with them flowers, and I'm saying it right now, and I will never haul another, driver unload flower load ever again. And that would include, if I had to bounce, I'm not doing it. I'm never unloading a flower truck again. Once was enough. Orlando's not that far south. Orlando's right where, I don't know. Don't know anything about that. No, it's not flower loads going to Florida. It's flower loads coming out of Florida. So they have a few different loads coming out of Florida. I mean, it's not always flowers. It's not always Tropicana, which is what people are always saying. They have some other things down there, but as a team that I'm running right now, if I go into Florida, they're trying to hit me with some flowers coming out. I can almost guarantee it. So I don't even want to get down in that area. Yeah, I'd take Dole out of there. Just I don't want to take a load out of Florida a long distance because nothing coming out of Florida pays good. And if you take it a long way, that's not a good deal. So the shorter, the better. And congratulations on the 50,000 miles. Go out there and get your truck and start hitting it on your own. But one thing I'm going to tell anybody that's in here, I see a lot of people that are thinking about getting into trucking or, whatever. One thing you need to do, or I would suggest that you do, is build up a good network of people that you can talk to, about whatever the situation is. People that are at your level, below your level, above your level, because when this happened, I automatically had like 3 people I could call right off the bat that could kind of tell me, kind of coach me through the situation. So I had, the Million Mile Man, I had his brother, and then I had Junior Honduras that I could kind of lean on to kind of walk me through this. So, whether it's, get you a little support system of drivers that you kind of talk to, whether they're people you went to orientation with, you meet kind of randomly or whatever. Get that system. It's valuable, trust me. There's a lot of freight in Florida. It's just not good freight in Florida. Trust me, there's a lot of freight in Florida. It's not the freight you want coming out of Florida, but I can assure you that there's probably 15 prime trailers out there getting loaded up in Bradenton, Florida right now. Some YouTube truckers are good. Some are, I would say for the most part, if you're just dealing with people that talk about their company or their experiences, those are good people that I would. As a matter of fact, Tom Bell is somebody. Haven't had a chance to get with him much as I used to because I've been teaming and all that kind of stuff. But Tom Bell is with Millis, and back when I was solo, we used to talk a little bit more. But he's another person, kind of similar experience, stuff like that we kind of talk and share experiences with. So you can never have too many people to talk to. If Prime is slow, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you that I get loads too fast. Sometimes I want to relax, and them loads just keep coming. So if I don't know about Prime being slow, and I'm just saying that as a solo person, with the team truck is even worse. I mean, with the team truck, I am actually getting those pre-plans like a day early, stuff like that for the most part. So yeah, if you did flower loads for 10 years, man, you get all the credit in the world for me because I ain't doing them. Now, Maurice, I'm not okay. So Prime seems slow right now. I'm not too optimistic about getting into my own truck. Here's the only thing I can say, and I don't know your situation, and I'm not even saying these are excellent miles, but when I was teaming, we were running, 5,500 miles, a week, something like that. And it could have been more depending on where the loads were going, but I never felt like it was slow. I felt like whenever we were getting unloaded, there was a load right away. And if it wasn't right away, it was like within, it always happens in Boston. I don't know why, but, within 2 hours at least. It's not. So I haven't seen a slowdown. I didn't see the slowdown as a solo driver. I didn't see the slowdown as a team driver. So I would probably feel optimistic. Now, listen, from what I've heard, I don't know all about the stuff that these dispatchers have at their disposal, but they can judge you and your truck on a number of different things. So if your trainer, if that's what you're saying, you're the trainer, is for some reason not hitting some of them matrix, maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know. Yeah, Johnson's Logic, he was just out here, the other day. And he's all the way on another coast, I think, right now. Or close. But I mean, whether it's Prime or whatever company, I mean, I don't, I talked to Tom at Millis. He's getting some miles. I talked to people at other companies, and I just really haven't seen a huge slowdown in freight across the board with the people that I talk to. Now it could be different. I don't know anybody at CRST or CR England, or I do know somebody at Swift. I know somebody at Melton. So the Melton, I don't know if he's in here 50 plus, but I haven't talked to him in a while either. But it seemed like He was doing well. His was flatbed, so that's a totally different situation. Well, if you're out of the freight lanes, it's not too hard to get back in a freight lane. I mean, that's just one load to get back in the freight lane. So I don't know. It could just be, I don't know. I can't explain it. Or, my fleet manager, I'm a brag on my guy, but there's a lot of people that brag on theirs too. He is definitely proactive. Co-driver pay. So co-driver pay and training pay is a little bit different. So if I was a trainer, which I'm not, and I had a trainee on the truck, I would pay out of what the truck brings in, either $700 or $800 a week, depending on where their miles were. Since he's a co-driver, I decided that what I thought the good pay would be was if prime solo drivers are making 45 cents a mile, I cut that in half and rounded that up to the next cent. So what that allowed was for him to make a little bit more, a half cent more than he was making as a solo driver, but more miles than he would have got as a solo driver. So I don't have, he's been doing better, I think, as a whole, other than, he's taking this loss with me on this downtime. So that, and then, but if we're consistently running, he's making more money than he would make solo. So that's kind of how that works. So the pay is kind of worked out between the two drivers. So it could be whatever those two come up with. And I would definitely, I have one thing about Prime that's different. Somebody's talking about lease versus, or not lease, but percentage versus mileage. I was complaining about taking a load, not complaining. I mentioned a load coming out of Georgia paying, just under $1 a mile going to California. A lot of these lease companies that are out there are paying, I think, who is it? Stevens is paying right at around $1-ish a mile total for their lease. So they're really, what I'm kind of complaining about is what they're just getting. So, yeah, Johnson's logic broke down the train and pay a little bit better than I did. So you can make an override on your mileage, but your minimum is going to be 700. So that's kind of what I like about the prime lease is it is a percentage lease. So you're not always going to be just running for a set amount per mile. You can get those loads, you can get those loads that are, 38 miles for $680. You can get, but then you can get the ones that are, 2,000 miles for $2,300 or something like that. So it's good and bad, and you can turn them down. I was going to turn down that Georgia load, but my fleet manager said, you know what, if you want me to, I'll find you another load. If not, or there's good freight coming out of California. It's your decision, whatever you want to do. So I just decided to stick with the load for a couple different reasons. One reason was to, I am paying a co-driver miles, so if we could take a load that's going to get him some good miles, then, that works for me. Nope. Yeah, I don't know what. To me, it seemed like Prime was going out of their way to talk people out of leasing. With all the stuff you got to go through to lease and all the little things that they put out there, I never had that feeling like they were gonna put, like they were trying to force me into leasing. And here's the thing about the thing about the company versus the lease. I was talking to another driver of Prime. I don't know if he's going to come in here or not, but he is doing really well. He's on a dedicated lane, running lightweight, and he's doing about, I think, $1,500-$1,600 a week. And he's kind of curious about the lease, but I was like, I mean, that is good money right there. Plus, to know where you're going, know where you're stopping. I mean, there's a lot of benefit to that, But one thing about the leasing is probably for 5 or 6 months, the market's been down just a tad bit. So, whereas company drivers, unless they up their cents per mile, they're not going to be able to benefit from this uptick in the market that's going to be happening or that's happening right now. So but he was in a good position. If you could find that dedicated situation, I think he's running from Michigan to Tennessee or something like that. Those are good routes if you don't get bored in it. So, Tom, when you're talking about they pay full rate, they can't be paying 45 or 50 cents a mile for all miles for both the trainer and the trainee. That would is that what you're saying? Because that would be like paying out $1 a mile to the truck or something kind of like that. Oops, hope I didn't. Let me get in here and do some of this stuff. I just figured this stuff out. Boom. So anyway, that's it. So I'm just going to be sitting my broke down ass at home for another week or so, knock out a few more videos, cooking videos. I'm trying to go through all this food that my wife and everything, they were buying food and never eating that shit, so it was in the refrigerator. So I'm just trying to cook up some of that stuff so I even have room to put the shit that I want to buy tomorrow. Crab legs, stuff like that. So it's her birthday, so we're going to be doing some crab legs, maybe some mussels, that little crab boil thing. I might throw the crab legs on the grill. Not sure. I might get some lobster, whatever, but that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I need to clear out this freezer right quick. And, like I said, these guys, my wife and these kids, not kids, these old-ass adults that should be maybe thinking about leaving the house, they'll, use some jelly. They'll have some jelly. They'll leave, this much jelly in the jar and leave the damn jar in the refrigerator. I'm like, why not just throw that shit out? Well, that's right. And listen, prime training isn't necessarily always team training. You got that little portion that's just to get your CDL. And, a lot of the training that, if I was to train at prime, I would probably not go straight team right out the box. I would probably ask my fleet manager to get me on some, super solo loads or something like that where, it's not just straight team right out the box, just until I could feel comfortable with it. Man, Larry, I need to do something over there because I haven't been posting shit over on that barbecue channel, so I probably do need to get over there. I probably have 100 comments over there I haven't replied to, so I need to get over there and start handling some of those comments because I hate not replying to comments, but they just catch up to you. An experienced driver at prime, that's kind of a tough situation. It depends on what your experience is. I think if you're just local, then you need to do a certain amount of miles. Or if you've like driven for less than a certain amount of time, you have to do a certain amount of miles. I don't understand. I don't know exactly what that is, but maybe some of these trainers in here know a little bit more. Well, there you go. He's answering your question right there. Definitely not popular. You know, you see these popular guys that are like hundreds of people. I don't need that because it's hard for me to even catch up with these little bit of comments I have coming in here now. Famous might not be the right word. Every now and then, some people recognize me if I'm at the terminal or something like that. I've even had, like, I was at a truck stop in, I think it was Tennessee. And somebody's like, "Are you Lyle?" I'm thinking that they were thinking that, you know, it was like the trucking thing. They were like, they recognized me from the barbecue channel. So that was kind of, you know, that's happened before, but not, it's usually happened around here. If you live in Denver, I'm giving away some barbecue equipment, though. Pit barrel cooker, maybe Weber Smoky Mountain. Come and get it. Got to clear up some of this clutter around here. Omar, if you email me your phone number to nohippiebbq@gmail.com, I'll give you a call, or just send me your phone number. So it's nohippiebbq@gmail.com. And here's my wife and all them with all this damn racket.
Last time I saw him was January. He looked like a walking skeleton. We didn't hear about if anything. He was already, so he was exposed. That's definitely what walking.
Yeah, a lot of new people are watching these videos. I don't think it's really company specific. I think people are just looking for information. So. And that's correct right there about the recruiter. Now, one thing I will tell you, and I kind of mentioned it in the last video that I did, is everybody was saying that the reason that prime drivers are putting up videos is to make money off referral bonuses. And to be honest with you, I don't even know how that referral gets paid out. I think it's $100 after a certain amount of time, but it's not like these thousands of dollars that you hear people talk about. You get paid like so many, like a quarter cent a mile or something. I mean, I don't even know. That's how much I'm focused on it. So when people are saying that, they really don't know what they're talking about. There's, you know, I'm not turning down no free money if somebody wants to give it to me, but I haven't gone out of my way to promote, you know, using my referral code or anything like that. Man, that pit barrel smoker would be smelling like crap the whole way out to California. There's no way that could happen. 50 plus trucker, I just mentioned you earlier, is somebody that I talked to, maybe not as much lately with this team driving situation, but he is over there at Melton doing that flatbed, but he's, you know, one of those people that I'll talk to kind of, you know, when you need perspective, advice, different stuff like that. So 50 plus, if you haven't been here, 50 plus has actually been over to my house before. Cooked a little bit of steak when he came over. I think, you know, I forget what else we had, steak and some other stuff. But we, in case you didn't see 50 plus, Took my truck in the shop the other day. They had it. I've been calling a couple times. They've never really told me what the deal was. Went down there today, just drove down there, and they told me catastrophic engine failure. We have an engine on the way. You might want to relax for about another week minimum. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know. The engine's under warranty, so I don't care how much it costs. And listen, if it wasn't under warranty, now I'm gonna tell you. Sometimes you just have to do things that financially make sense. I would have to walk away from that lease at that point. If that was not a warranty expense, I would be walking away. Just saying. A barbecue challenge. How are you gonna do that long distance? You know what I mean? And plus, man, I haven't even had the see, you're home all the time. I haven't even had the motivation to do barbecue. I went to Costco, picked up a prime brisket, looked good. Shit was bending right in the package and everything. I was like, man, I'm gonna go smoke this up. And then I thought about it. Can I dedicate this time to this brisket? I don't think I can, so I just put it back up. The truck that I had is a 2020, 135,000 miles on it, something like that. So definitely not a high mileage truck by any means. I'm not gonna sous vide a brisket, but if I'm gonna do a brisket, I'm gonna do a brisket. I'm gonna go all out on that bad boy. So I may not throw it up. See, I got lazy. I got like 9 smokers out here. And the really good smokers, I'm too lazy to use. So the ones I got to use, like the real logs and all that stuff, I'm too lazy to do that. I really don't want to mess with the charcoal either. So I've been messing with this pellet grill out here. And that actually put some good smoke on them ribs I just did the other day. I do have a Peterbilt now, or I have a Peterbilt now, and I'm going to get another Peterbilt. And even if I had to rebuild a Peterbilt engine every 6 months, I would still get a Peterbilt. That's how much I like them Peterbilts. Yeah, Travis, and I actually, there's people that have Freightliners right now too that just came in. I think hopefully it's been one of these situations where it's just been an issue, not necessarily the truck I have now, but I'm hearing a lot of these trucks, whether it's Freightliner or Peterbilt, coming from these factories recently that are having problems like right out the gate. So hopefully that's been like a COVID-19 situation where the factory is, I don't know, but hopefully that's been rectified by the time my truck that I ordered comes down the line. Because I've been hearing Peterbilts and Freightliners having problems right out the gate, like within, well, shit, damn near immediately on some of them. Does the Peterbilt have a lot of room? It has a little bit less room than the Freightliner, but it's more comfortable room. In my opinion, that's an opinion, but definitely if you're going to be sleeping while the truck is moving, it's definitely going to benefit you there. Johnson's logic, you can keep cracking on them Peterbilts all you want. I know you like them Volvos. You know, Prime didn't keep rocking them Volvos, not because they weren't good, but if it's taking me a week to get my engine in this truck, a Volvo could have been a month and a half. That's why they stopped doing with them Volvos, from what I heard. No, yeah, T680, same difference. Freightliner, Peterbilt. I mean, I guess depends on what engine you got. I think that Prime just does the PACCAR engines as opposed to like the Cummins and all that. I'm not gonna lease no Volvo. Well, T680 is gonna drive just like the Peterbilt. I just think it has less standard equipment than the Peterbilt. I don't think they come pretty much standard with, the same level of equipment, but it's basically the same chassis, ride, all that kind of stuff. So, the engine could be different. Transmission, I guess, could be different, but the ride is going to be about the same. Don't get a ticket there. I need to go get some more lemonade. I'll be right back. That stuff is pretty good if you want to eat it.
My dad did, well, he was there, it's been in the freezer. I assumed you went and got all that other stuff. I could have gone to the grocery store. I asked right before I left, I could have gone to the grocery store.
There's no reason I did it.
I didn't know if you already did, what you did, what you didn't do, which is why I asked if you needed anything, you said no. Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right. Just lemonade. All right, let's see. TNT barbecue. TNT barbecue's been over at the house. We had a little barbecue cookout one. Well, he's been out here a couple times. So, anyway. You should come back. You should come out here, Thyron. I'm gonna be off for another week. And I know you like taking some time off. Yeah, Thyron, I didn't talk to you about this yet, but my truck is needs a. They're wanting to put a new engine in it. I didn't feel like it was driving that bad, but they're. Here's the thing I don't get. Okay, if they're if it's a Peterbilt, Kenworth, whatever dealership, I would assume that you might want to have an engine on hand somewhere. Like they're always ordering. Well, maybe it takes up too much room. I don't know, but they're ordering an engine in, and they're saying that end of next week at the earliest. So I'm thinking the end of the next week after that is probably more likely. You know what, Jeffro? What I do? Yeah, yeah. But Thyron TNT Barbecue, I'm just exclusively gonna be on these pellet grills while I'm at home. I don't have enough time to be out there dealing with wood and charcoal and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna keep it remedial out here during this little home time situation. Hagen Jr., he's not feeling too good right now. All right, Ross, I'll check you out later. Like I said, I'm gonna update you here in a little bit on our situation and kind of go from there. Yeah, Thyron is under warranty. As a matter of fact, Thyron, you should give me a call and then never well, see a lot of people think that I'm joking around about some of the stuff that I talk about on here. And he's somebody that I talk to about a lot of this stuff. And one of the people that, as a matter of fact, Thyron was thanking me this morning for my perspective that has helped him in his life. Anyway, I try to really live this shit. Yeah, broke the truck, man. If anything, I would have thought that it would have been the brakes because my boy be slamming on them brakes. Can't talk to Thyron and TNT Barbecue as much either with the team situation. Do you have anything you'd like to say, Thyron, please? Let me go to these comments right quick. This lemonade there, Thyron. You know the moonshine or whatever that you buy out here that's all flavored, that has like less alcohol than the normal stuff that you'd be buying. You got to go to like real Tennessee to get that stuff. It seems. Mike's Hard Lemonade. That's man, my wife drinks that stuff. Maybe Mike's Hard Lemonade with a little bit of something. Well, they say a lot of things make you blind, and I haven't seen it. Hasn't happened yet. Hey, Tyron, you still on here? Let me see if my boy answers the phone. Hey, so there's can you talk right now?
Yeah, I can talk.
All right, so this is TNT Barbecue if you happen to be looking at the comments, but there's a lot of people that are like all thinking, man, I want to have Lyle as a trainer or something like that. Would you kind of tell them, kind of how it really is?
Look, man, if you don't like the truth, don't hang around loud. He's going to tell you the truth, but he ain't going to candy coat it. So, he's my guy, man. We met, man, and I said the first week we met, my father passed away, and I was all, messed up when my dad died, and I posted a picture of my dad, and he said, well, at least he had a built-in sweater, but my dad was a hairy black dude, so, it kind of made me smile, but he does keep it real, he just, but I think I know he comes from a good place, but it's just sometimes that people candy coat stuff so much. So you need friends that keep it 100 with you. That's why I love my boy Lyle, Sometimes you say stuff like, what the hell? If you think about it, and you say, it brings me to a Bible verse. It's better to be wounded by a friend than kissed by an enemy. And the kisses of the enemy are deceitful. It's better for a friend to tell you the truth and not candy coated where you get stuff misunderstood or misrated. But, it's coming from a good place. He wants you to do better. He wants you to be better. And he's telling you stuff that really that somebody may be uncomfortable telling you, but you need to hear it. I see different things. I don't want to get too personal, but just a situation where he was just telling me that, man, sometimes a good deal is just walking away from stuff, and that kind of made sense to me. Like sometimes a good deal is just not getting it, So, I started utilizing that just one little thing in my life, not to my name just flirt for savings, because sometimes I used to be like, I want this, I get this, I want that, I get this, and then, but I guess it's discipline, that's just a small thing that he has shared with me throughout our relationship, being friends for 6 years, I believe. And man, you will grow, but you only can grow if somebody can help. Sometimes telling people is just not telling them what they need or what they want to hear, but tell them what they need to hear.
All right, that was a little deeper than we needed to get, but really all he was saying is I keep it real, and sometimes that shit is too real, and people don't understand that.
Too real for your wife.
Okay, now my wife needs to chime in on some shit.
You wouldn't be a good trainer for. Hey, T, how are you? I can't hear you because the dog's barking.
All right, well, all right.
I'm just saying you've not been able to train me right. You keep trying. So there's certain things you just can't train.
So, I mean, that's.
Hey, she said, Lyle, what's up?
Nothing, some lotion. All right. So anyway, that's it. So whether it's on this YouTube channel or whatever, sometimes I kind of throttle it down a little bit on YouTube, but I really try to keep it 100% real. And I'm not saying like. Sometimes I think the best advice comes from people that don't have anything to gain from it or lose from it. So that's kind of where I come from. And sometimes that comes across, it may not come across the same on YouTube, but people that are saying that they would want me to be a trainer sometimes may not understand that unless you know me, it might come off the wrong way. So I don't, I've understood certain flaws in myself since I've had another driver on the truck. So and yeah.
Do you miss being in the real estate game?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, I just wanted to get your perspective on this. I'm gonna let you get back to what you're doing and stuff, but
Hang on, Trey.
I'll check you out later. All right, later. So anyway, that's all. Any other topics anybody wants to cover besides me being down for a week and going in the hole? And actually, it's not going to be that bad. So
No, because you'll be rich with the love of your wife.
there you go. I'll be rich with the love from my wife. So that's like making money right there, I guess. At least that's what.
You guess.
Okay. For real? So anyway, here's the way it kind of worked out, not to be getting too into it, but to get my co-driver home, I broke even. Or actually, no, I lost. I think I was like negative, like $78. I picked up a load coming from somewhere in California, and I dropped it in Denver. So that basically brought me even. So right now I'm even. If I stay out another week, then I'll start going in the negative on that. So it's really not that bad anyway. But like I always say, embrace the negative. Shit, you can't you can't be afraid of it. All right, Tom, I'll check you out later. I'll give you a call since I have an extra week to kind of chill out. Okay, process of picking a truck. That has changed since I did it. So the process of picking a truck at Prime, I think it depends on if you're a lease or if you're a company. I know at the time that I went through, you were kind of ranked on different things. So when I went to go pick out my truck to do a lease, I was at the top of the list because I didn't have any critical events, no accidents, no nothing, and I'd been on my trainer's truck for 150,000 miles. So I was at the top of the list. So when it went for me to pick a truck, there was nobody in front of me. So I had, a bunch of different trucks to pick from. The way they're doing it now with this COVID situation is kind of virtually. You do it all online or something. I don't really understand the process right now, but it's different than when I did it. And not everybody's going to be in the same situation I was in. Like I said, when I came in, there was no driver more qualified than I was when I came in to lease my truck. Period. Nobody drove that many miles without any issues. So the average person may not be in that situation. Plus, at the time, there weren't that many people coming, to upgrade. So not only were there not a lot of people coming in to upgrade, there was like an influx of trucks at the time. So I probably had 15, 20 trucks to choose from, maybe. And I was definitely going to go Peterbilt. So they had maybe 3 Peterbilts to choose from or whatever, but that's kind of how my plan worked. What is up, Chuck? Home improvement time with all the extra time. No, just chilling out. Maybe trying to go through some of this food nobody wants to eat around here. We're storing food up here like we are like preppers or something. What's up, Mob? Mob is somebody else that I will, talk to on occasion. Haven't had a chance to get with him too much lately either, since this team has been kind of cramping things a bit. But Mob, I'm gonna tell you what. So I don't know if he has his old videos up, but if you want to look for some inspirational stuff, go back to like his old videos where he's talking about where he came from in life and all this kind of stuff, and what he had to go through just to get into trucking. That's like an inspirational story. As a matter of fact, before I got into trucking, his videos were one of the videos that I was watching to kind of put me in the right mind frame to even get into trucking. So good perspective on those videos. Oh, and in case I didn't mention it, I had a catastrophic engine failure. I don't know how it was catastrophic. I drove the shit in there, drove I-70 all the way in, and what is that, cookies or some shit?
No, those are the tomatillas. I'm cooking them all up to make some more salsa
Well, how am I
verde
making
before
some
they go
cookies? I think I saw some cookies in the freezer.
Did you?
Why don't you cook those?
Well, let me do the tortilla for the.
Or I'm sure we got enough ingredients to cook cookies. No, we don't, because we don't have butter. Because you guys, these guys are here. Anyway, that's what happened. So I called him, or I went down there today. Actually, had to go to the Peterbilt dealership, and they told me, "Oh, is your truck the truck with the catastrophic engine failure?" I was like, "I don't think so." And they're like, "Well, we only have one prime truck." And I was like, "Well, I guess that'd be me," but nobody told me this, because all they kept telling me was it's not ready yet, or it's on a road test, or whatever it was. And like I said, I came over I-70. Obviously there was lots of power in there, but I don't know. How's 25 coming along between Monument and Castle Rock? Construction. That's all it is. Construction, man. I'm telling you. You know what? As a matter of fact, you said that, Earl, those mountains coming in from, I thought, look harder, because I saw some. It was a little small pack. But those mountains coming in from New Mexico into Denver, those are some underappreciated downgrades right there. I don't think people like really appreciate those. Plus the curves on it too. Listen, and the construction, that's not a good drive right now. If any of you guys are looking for some motivational type stuff to listen to, and I'm not even joking around about this, Trucking Through Life, go check out his channel. All right, that's fine. Trucking Through Life, great perspective on a number of different things. Definitely an inspirational channel right there. Okay, Mob. I don't know what they told me. They just told me that it needed another engine. I mean, they mentioned something, but it kind of went over my head. The only thing that came out of my mouth was warranty and, okay, when. So that was it. So they just said catastrophic engine failure. I did catch that out of it. Henry. So yeah, I actually did speak with Henry earlier today. As a matter of fact, he just completed his 50,000 mile obligation with Prime. He's going to be going out and getting his truck here pretty soon. So Henry, what's up is I told you I put my truck in the shop and all that kind of stuff, and now they told me it's a catastrophic engine failure and needs a new engine. So they're telling me the end of next week at the earliest. So every little step I take, unlike Bobby Brown, is going to be around this household. So there you go. I'm sorry for my co-driver. Like I said, that's a situation that I can only do what I could do. But man, it's not like I'm paying for the engine. You've been telling me about this damn Bitcoin. Like I told you, I will do my research on it. Until then, I gotta roll with what I know. Henry's a guy that I met, in case you guys are wondering. I met him out in Pittston, probably late November, December-ish, somewhere in there at Pittston. And then we kind of kept in touch. Yeah, I drove it in, man. Drove it in over I-70, all that. January. Okay. And like I said, the only time it was having problems is when I went up steep downgrades. So I don't know. Listen, it's a week of my time. It's under warranty. I'm not going to really stress out about it. I got another truck coming in and 5 weeks. So if it was up to me and I didn't have a co-driver, I would probably drive this truck right back to Springfield right now and turn it in and then wait for that truck to come in. Yeah, don't get that 19, Henry. Shoot. I'm over here, got a kid that's acting like he might be trying to get a little sick. So I need to worry about if we're going to kick his ass out of the house or something. What? My wife is thinking I'm serious. No, I'm not too serious about kicking him out of the house, okay?
You should be so happy that you're getting to spend more time with me.
That's what I said. I'm so happy I'm able to spend time with my wife. It's like making money. It's like incredible.
Can you sound any more like a smart?
What? I was just saying.
These people are gonna think you just show them.
No, probably not gonna do no barbecue, man. If I could find some beef short ribs, like the ones that are about.
But what are you doing tomorrow?
I'm telling you how much I love you and buying you crab legs and.
You're cooking the crab legs and the shrimp.
I already said that.
Right?
I already mentioned that.
Shrimp.
Would you shut up? I already mentioned what I'm doing. I already said exactly what I was doing. They already know.
Okay, let's take a poll. Should you tell your wife shut up? Let's take a poll. Come on, people.
Here's a poll, okay? My wife wants me to take a poll and ask, should I tell my wife to shut up?
No.
If she's been talking too much.
No. Ever. Never.
Let's see. I'm good. Prime is just being cautious. Yep. Anyway, my point was I'm trying to buy those thick beef cut short ribs that the bone might be about that wide, about that long, that have about that much meat on them. Can't find them anywhere. I would smoke those up if I found them, but I can't find them. No, this is just lemonade right here. Christopher Robin Trucking. Well, infused lemonade, but okay, so only if she needs to shut up.
Oh, that's the wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Yeah. He said, no, you shouldn't tell her to shut up, but she should get on camera and explain herself. Not happening.
It's like, what have I got to explain? My name ain't Lucy.
What's up, Nathan? Kind of second guessing those graphics I was getting on that truck, though.
I'm watching, just so you know, I have my headphones on. I'm watching DJ Polly and Vinny.
Okay, some more idiots. I might just go straight, no graphics at all. Boom, just basic on it.
Or you could see if Taylor was designing something,
No, I'm not going that far. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to do what I was thinking about doing.
which is goofy. But okay.
That shit's not goofy. That's like De La Soul mode right there. Old school. Chrome. I wasn't talking about no Chrome. So last thing I think some of these guys go a little over the top with that Chrome. To kind of be a little bit more individualistic, and it is a write-off. That is one of the things that I can partake in since I'm so frugal in other areas of my life. Oh, that's kind of hard there, Christopher. So my wife says it's goofy. I think it's, I was just going to go old school kind of De La Soul on it, because it is about peace, love, and happiness, right? So, that was going to be my little, it's not going to come in. Never mind. Nope. There you go. Hold on. See if that comes in. It's still coming in. It's not as bright as it should be, but, all about that peace, love, and happiness type situation. That's not, it's brighter than that, but just something that's a little more unifying than what's going on. So there you go. Christopher, all right, listen, I'm 52 years old, my wife is 52 tomorrow. I'm 51. I'll be 52. Listen, I grew up in all that old school hip hop and all that stuff. And not just that, all us people this age, we grew up in the best time. You had the old school hip hop. You had like the classic rock that was still around at the time. You were like coming into your 20s when the grunge music scene just kind of started. The hair metal groups were kind of starting when you were in high school. We lived in the best. Listen, if you grew up between 1965 and 1972, you lived in a great time period. No doubt. Music, culture, all that. Maybe a little bit. Well, anyway, it was a great time for a lot of reasons. Man, I ain't rethinking nothing. $77, 73. I'll throw 73 in there. But yeah, that was like, man, the emergence of the hip hop stuff or rap in like 79. When that first came out, and then it really hit in like 84. Then you had to like 96. I mean, it was a great time. I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna put that on the hood and on the sides. Like I said, I may just go basic on it with nothing, just straight up like straight nothing on it whatsoever. Vancouver, Washington, man. I was just up there like maybe I don't know, a month ago. Yeah, somewhere around there. Actually, before I picked up my co-driver, so I was up there. It was a FedEx. There's a FedEx that's out there, uh, right, right in that same area. As a matter of fact, bringing up straight out of Compton, I was in the Marines right when all that stuff was coming on. So before NWA and all them guys were selling before they even had their record deal, they were selling these cassette tapes at record stores. And I remember buying one, and I took it back and I was playing it, and people like couldn't believe it. It was like this was like a good 9 months, a year before they even came out on before they even came out with their album. So yeah, it was Easy Does It. It was like Dope Man, a couple other goofy songs, kind of more along the lines of like that Arabian Nights and that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway, that was it was good kind of coming up when that bubbling up of all those different musical influences kind of going on. And like I said, obviously the classic rock played a big part in early hip hop. Well, not just early hip hop, but just hip hop in general, as far as sampling and stuff like that goes. Tribe Called Quest, I think they were okay. I'm not gonna like a Tribe Called Quest would be. I would say they were more influential than they were good.
No, they were good.
But I'm not putting them up there with no EPMD or I'm not putting them up there with some of those guys. Anyway, not that we need to get on a hip hop crusade or anything. 50 plus probably did go to bed. Shoot, I think he might be a little older than me even. So and he's doing flatbed. Yeah, he's probably tucked his ass in bed real nicely about now. All right, so Uncle Redneck, that little tandem slide thing, I really don't use that anymore. It was great for when I didn't know kind of about how far to move it for each hole. I found that on Amazon. I just think it was like, let me see if I can look it up. But once I kind of figured out how far to move it, I really haven't used it in a good 3-4 months. So let me see. All right, I'm gonna put the link in for that tandem stopper. That's right there. Boom. And I think it's more money than when I bought it. Yeah, I don't think I paid that much money when I bought it, but it's good in wintertime, or if you know that you need to be in the 6th hole, or I mean, it really depends, because sometimes even if you get loaded in California, the 6th hole, you might still need to go up to like the 3rd or 5th or something like that hole. So, but if you know that you can't go past a certain point back, you could at least put that stopper in and kind of know that you're not going further back than that. I'm ready to get back on the road. I don't know if a magnetic one would be any different. I'm ready to get back on the road more for my co-driver than for myself. Like I said, I got to worry about more than myself on this, because I would sit down for a good, like I wasn't like worried when they told me it was going to be a week, but then I got to worry about somebody else and those kind of things. So.
Stop it.
But I was planning on coming out Friday morning. I don't think you need that tandem stopper thing, to be honest with you. I mean, I use it. It's come in handy a couple times. Like when it's like really cold outside and I really don't want to fuck around with it, it's came in good on those. But for the most part, lately, since I got a little bit more experience sliding them, I just don't need to have it. I mean, it's good to have for certain situations, but I don't think it's like I wouldn't buy it again, know what I know now. But it can save you some good time, especially in the winter. Especially if that track is kind of sticking a little bit in the winter. So you might be like, okay, I just need to move it up one hole, but it might like catch and then move, and then it goes too far in one direction or another. So it can save you some time. No, I'm not part of that. Oh, listen. If there's any, I'm not even sure I want to broach that subject, because that's kind of when I went off last time. Listen, if people are having problems with Prime, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not even going to say it, because I'm about to go down that rabbit hole. No, I'm not part of that lawsuit, and I really wouldn't be part of any lawsuit in any situation. I would never sue anybody Man, I don't even want to touch that subject, because I'm gonna come off a little bit too wrong on that. But if I sign a document, I know what that document is. I'm not gonna come back and then complain about some shit about the document. So, and if somebody's not, I mean, to me, if you're not making money at Prime, I don't even know how that's not happening. I mean, it's almost like stealing, to be honest with you. So I don't know. So no, I'm not a part of that. You know what? I got somebody coming and getting that BMW next week. Not long. I haven't been trucking long, man. I got my CDL, or I went to training in March of 2019. Something like that. March, and then stayed on with my trainer for 150,000 miles. Came out the box leasing. If I could have done it over again, I'd have just done a lease purchase right out the bat. So I really haven't been driving that long. I mean, from the technical driving aspect, I don't understand why a lot of people are saying that you need to, you should be a trainer for or you should drive for 7 years before you're even allowed to train. There is no damn terrain out there. I mean, there's very few situations that 7 years is going to give you that 2 years isn't going to give you. So I don't agree with that, but I do think that some trainers are training a little bit early, which is, one of the reasons why I'm not necessarily doing it. And early isn't necessarily a time period. It's when I see people that are trainers struggling to train somebody, then that's kind of a problem. I'm starting to get used to the trucking way. I just have to save up for. You know what? I might have to do a Super Trucker headset giveaway. I don't know. I've been trying to spread out some of this money a little bit. Now, if you haven't watched this video, or if you haven't watched any of my older videos, I didn't do 150,000 miles just to do 150,000 miles. At the time I went to Prime, the requirement was 30,000 miles. In my mind, I wanted to do 50,000 miles, between 50 and 60,000 miles. At the time, Prime was paying $1,000 if you stayed on past 30,000 miles. So that kind of eased the blow a little bit. So I did that. And then once I kind of did my 50,000, I was comfortable to get off. It was so close to kind of the end of the year, kind of where I was like, I was like, okay, well, let me get a winter in, or, a little bit more winter in. And it kept going. And then I was like, all right, well, let me get off the truck in January so I could start a business at the beginning of the year. And then he ended up leaving in November. So I ended up having to get off at that point anyway. So I was never in a hurry to get off. I think a lot of people might be in a hurry to get off, get on their own, and all that kind of stuff. And, that's great too. I just like to be over prepared. So that's kind of one of the reasons I did that. But one thing I could tell you that those miles did was I didn't ever go to a shipper or receiver and feel like, okay, well, I mean, I was going back to places that might have been hard to find. So I don't know if you've been to Sierra Nevada and North Carolina. That's not the easiest place to find. Even if you could use your fucking, old school people. You could use a map. You could use whatever. That shit's hard to find. So been there during training. Now I know how to get there. So there's a lot of those kind of things that kind of help more than actual driving or anything. Because driving a truck is really not that hard. I mean, backing, I think is always a work in progress to some degree or another. Even if you're great, it's just degrees of greatness, but I don't think anybody's just automatic. Winter driving, I think I watched a video. If you see a couple comments above yours, Mob Entertainment, he was driving in the winter, and he said he was driving in winter that was so... Actually, I'm going to tell you this story. So he did a video, and actually, when I was driving in the winter, I thought about his video and actually followed these kind of techniques. But I was driving through Nebraska. Sorry about all this noise in the background. Just turn it all the way on and get it over with. So I was driving through.
Sorry, I got my headphones on. You talking to me?
Yeah. I was driving through Nebraska, and it was like a blizzard, and, you really couldn't see. So I remember him in a video saying that he was driving in snow that was so bad that he was using his GPS to guide him kind of. So that's kind of, I mean, I can still see a little bit, but the GPS would alert me if there's a curve coming up or something like that. So as far as winter driving goes, I grew up in Colorado, so that's a totally, I'm totally comfortable with being in the snow, but there's some stuff you just can't be comfortable with. I-80 in like December, January, February, I ain't going to, unless that load is paying like so much money, they're going to pay me on layaway. I'm not going across there in the wintertime. And, that's one good thing about leasing. There's no reason to go. To me, there's no reason to go across there. Not even fear of driving, just fear of shutdown going across there. So, but winter driving is, for the most part, you're not going to be having too bad a weather. I mean, Wyoming is going to be the worst. There's other places that are even worse than that, but they have less traffic. So 90 going through like North Dakota, Montana, all that stuff is worse, but there's not, you don't have super truckers on 90 in packs, like packs of 10, 15 or whatever. You have those super truckers going across I-80 in groups. So that's what makes that so dangerous. So 90 is worse as far as snow, but it's easier because there's not as much traffic on it. You're going to maybe deal with some stuff, and like if you're going across 70, maybe, but Colorado's pretty good with their snow, so you're really not. You could just shut down and let them scrape it up and then get back out on there for that. So you don't even have to chain up for that. West Virginia, Pennsylvania, all that, they're usually pretty good. But driving at night, that's the problem. Is when you're driving at night and it's cold and it's not the snow, it's the ice. The snow is not a problem. The snow gives you traction, to be honest with you. The ice is where the problem lies. So during the daytime, if it's snowing or there's snow on the freeway or whatever, and it's warm, you're not going to really have that big of a problem unless it's like a lot of it. The ice is what'll get you. I remember driving through Wisconsin at like 2 a.m, and it's like 10 below zero, and I'm going around a on-ramp to get onto a highway, and the trailer starts kind of sliding down the on-ramp, and all you can do is steer into it. They don't really teach you that, but that's just what you do. Anyway, that's a different story. All right, Redneck, check you out. Now, I'm not sure I could train in the winter, or even like team drive in the winter. I'm just not sure I could have that much I'm not sure I could have that much confidence in fucking BJ McKay or whoever that guy was from, whatever that trucking movie was in the 70s. I don't know if I could even have that much confidence in another driver in wintertime. So, or, December, January, February. All right, last comment. With the time you've been in trucking, is there anything you wish you would have known sooner? I did a video on this, but there's a number of different things I would have done different if I could have done it over again. First of all, I wouldn't have stayed on my trainer's truck quite as long. The last bit of time that I stayed on, probably the last 30 or 40,000 miles, I just stayed on because I didn't want to start a business at the end of the year. So he ended up leaving before that year was up. So that kind of defeated that purpose. So I think I already got out of everything I needed to out of that. So I probably wouldn't have done that again. I probably would have done a lease purchase right out the box as opposed to leasing first. So think about it. I started my lease in November. So it's now August. So I've been leasing for, let's say, 8-9 months. All that money that's going into that lease completion bonus, I'm going to give that money up because I'm not going to complete the lease. So we're going to be talking about, let's say, $4,500, something like that I'm not going to get if I hadn't done it right out the box. Now, the problem is they're not always going to have the trucks right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? So doing it the way I did it allowed me to order a truck kind of the way I wanted, but possibly could have done like a lease with a truck that was like the lease was coming due in within the year, something like that. I probably would have done that different. The problem was, unlike most decisions I make, I'm usually pretty definitive. My feminine nature caught up with me when I did this, and I was like, well, let me like lease first and see how it works before I do it. And that was a big mistake. So I should have just known, boom, came out the box with it. So that was one thing I probably would have done, or another thing I would have done. And then a little small thing, and I mentioned this, there's sometimes you pick up these trailers and they're not always going to be in the best shape or whatever. They're prime trailers. So saying they're not in the best shape there's degrees of what I'm talking about. They're usually not as bad as most trailers. But I picked up a trailer, didn't have a chain on the door, and I couldn't find a way to keep the door open when I was backing in with what I had at the time. So I tried to kind of tape it with like some duct tape. And I'm backing up to get into the dock, and I was looking out my driver's side mirror because that was kind of the line I wanted to line up on. And in the meantime, the tape had broke on the door on the passenger side, and there was like a little like staircase ramp or something that was there that when the door opened up, it kind of caught that door and kind of jacked up the insulation on the inside of that. That was a $500 learning experience right there. So my thing would just be, I don't know. I couldn't pick a better trailer, so I had the trailer. In this case, there was really nothing to tie the trailer to. I mean, it didn't even have the hook to where I could have zip tied it or anything. So, I mean, I don't know. Just be more cautious in certain situations that could end up costing me money. Trust me, that was something I will think about every time I'm back. So, I don't know. Those are really the only three things in driving through St. Louis. I mean, you can't take that back. You're always going to end up driving through St. Louis, but that's always a mistake whenever you drive through St. Louis, even if you have to. My current truck is silver, and my truck I'm ordering is called Orange Pearl Clear Coat or something like that. Something like that. Like some kind of orange. It's not like Orange Pearl. It's like shit, I don't remember. Damn, what was it called? I don't know. It wouldn't have worked because there was nothing to tie the bungee to on that. So, I mean, I had like, I even had a shoestring I was going to go out there, but it didn't even have like I don't even think it had like the loop on the handle. I don't think it even had like the loop where the chain was even attached to. There was something that was like completely wrong on that door handle. I don't remember what it was, but my initial thought was to use a shoestring because I was going to go back there and do that, and I couldn't even do that. So, whatever. I don't. Yeah, I don't remember what the whole situation was, but I know a shoestring wouldn't have worked, so a bungee wouldn't have worked. I didn't have anything to actually tie it to on the truck, unless I would have tied it. I guess I could have tied it around the handle, but when you're, it's been a while, Sam, since you've been out there in the reefer gang. We're talking about 3 o'clock in the morning, where you may not have all your faculties to you to be, working your way through all these different, plans that you might have. But yeah, now looking back, I probably could have tied it around the handle and done that. But all I was thinking was I need to keep the door open. The tape seemed like it was a good idea. I didn't need it to hold forever. I just needed to hold longer than it did. So that was what happened. Oh, the truck color is sunburst orange pearl clear coat or something like that. Listen, I'm not no goddamn mechanic, Sam. You're out here like trying to have me figure out. You might as well. You know what? If you want to make all the money, you need to come work for Prime in their road assist department. Because if there's anybody that could tell you how to do some shit, it's them. They ain't gonna you ain't gonna that's what they're good for, is telling you how to do some shit. So you need to go work over there. So yeah, I'm not good at mechanic type stuff, But anyway, I just wanted to stop in here and kind of tell everybody why I'm down for a week, and hopefully not try to waste this week. Maybe get 2 videos up from my other channel. Go from there. Let's see here. I appreciate that as far as valuing my input and stuff like that. Man, there's so many trucking channels out there to watch. The problem is some of the other ones get into so much goofiness that it's kind of hard to be credible. I'm just trying to show that somebody new can get in this and make it, but showing some of the problems that I've had that may, put somebody else in a situation they may not be able to recover from. So I just want to show kind of what I'm going through and stuff like that. I mean, when it comes down to it, as far as the actual job, there is no job that I've had that's easier than this. It is the easiest job. Now, it could be a dangerous job. It could be like a job, a job you like work hard at or whatever you want to say. But as far as, well, not even work hard at, that's contradicting what I'm saying. But this is by far the easiest, most least stressful job that I've ever had, by far. I mean, and I'm including Burger King in this, like when I was 18, or not 18, when I was like 14 when I worked at Burger King, that was harder than this. So if I could do it, not know anything about like mechanics and all, obviously the more you know, the easier it's going to be. But you can get into this with any kind of a background. Old Mob Entertainment over there, It's not like he hasn't robbed a few people in his time and he's out here trucking. I'm joking. Self-admittedly, but you know, this is a job anybody could do, whatever background you come from, whatever. I mean, this is a job where if you have your goals set up that you could, you have to have your goals set up. You do not want to come out here and not have a goal in place. You do not want to just work for the sake of work, and trust me, it's not worth that. Man, if you have a check engine brake, Muhammad, or check engine light, you might want to get it in the shop, because mine was just a check engine light, not even the red one. It didn't do a full D-rate on it, and now they're telling me I need a new engine. So get it in, I guess. I don't know. What's up, Jay? I might have to do a Super Trucker headset giveaway. The problem is most people that would win this, I can't like ship it out to their house or anything. You're right about that, Sam, or Ma Bent. Definitely. But your story is inspirational in that a lot of people that you came into this business with a lot of those scars that a lot of people feel like they can't get into this business coming from kind of what you came through. So that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what was motivating about your videos where you were kind of talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So those were good videos. You know what, Muhammad? That's what they told me. So road assist saying it's a fuel pressure issue, and might derate by 10%. Listen, that's the same thing they were telling me. Get it in. I'm telling you, because it could be 10% now. But the problem is you keep driving these trucks, and it's so gradual that you don't really feel it. So, and I'll be honest with you, the only reason I put the truck in the shop was my co-driver was bitching so fucking much. God damn, I got tired of hearing his mouth. And so finally, I mean, I was just going to run it until the lease was up, but I was like, you know what, if I go pick him up, I cannot take a month more of hearing him talk about how slow this thing is climbing hills and stuff. So I was like, let me just get it in the shop. It'll be out by the time I come off home time and that. But I'm telling you, it was so gradual that, like I said, by the time I was coming home on home time, I was climbing I-70 maybe at 30 miles an hour, and I just got used to it, so it might have been 10% to start, but I don't know. It never like really threw like a really bad, like it was always running good. I just got it, new oil. I already got it, like looked at all that stuff and no issues. So I don't know. Salt Lake City, get it in the shop. I'm telling you. Now, if you're going to Salt Lake City, one thing I will not suggest is if you're going to have your truck in the shop for too long, do not spend too much time at the luxurious Ramada. I might choose another hotel in that area if you choose to go that route. And that's what they're telling me too. You just need a fuel filter. Don't worry about it. Or, whatever it said up here before, it's a fuel pressure thing. Whatever, they were giving me all these different things, and don't worry about it. If it's like, if it's just this, then it's not that big of a deal. If it's the red check engine light, then that's the problem. I never had that problem. You would never know there's an issue with this truck unless you took it up a hill. And the funny thing about it was, I mean, even with all that, and I had to like think back to when I really first got the truck, and I was like saying, okay, one of the things I liked about it was it just climbed those hills a whole lot better than the Freightliner I was in. And then I forgot all about that, and then just seeing how it was performing, like recently, just kind of. I just got so used to it, it was like I forgot that it was actually out climbing, some of these other trucks and stuff out there. And then, I got to the point where I just got used to on hills, being passed by just about everybody. So anyway, I'm about to get off here, come in here and get my biddle on right quick, and just kind of go from there. Just wanted to kind of share the not so luxurious life of the lease operation thing. But like I said, I'm still standing behind that. I would still do it the other way, and I would double down on it and do the lease purchase instead. So don't be thinking about this as like a reason, like I'm complaining about it. Okay, let me see. I don't think it needs a new. Listen, if they're putting a new engine in it and it's warranty, listen, I'm only keeping that truck one more month. My truck comes in September 15th-ish, somewhere in there. I really don't. If they want to put a new engine in it, that's great. It doesn't really matter to me. They can do whatever they want to do. So, I don't know. Either way, I'm out of the truck within 45, 60 days. Anyway, I'm going to get out here, get my vittle on right quick, and chill out. So, hope you guys have a good night and all that stuff. I will catch you guys up, or I will check you out later on, Sam. Yeah, I am out. Well, I thought I was going to be out, but not out as quick as I thought I was going to be.